Alright, we are outside with it once again as I am bringing what I think is a fun matchup to you today. This, of course, is a battle between Kratos from the latest God of War game versus Battle Beast from the Invincible comics. If you like content like this versus battles like this, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and if you are interested in becoming a member of my server where we do a bunch of things like games. We do games on Fridays now. They get all my scans, scaling, all that. Talk to me every day. Things of that nature. If that interests you, comment down below and I'll show you basically the cheapest way to go, which is through Cash App, honestly, because that saves you, like, I think at this point, like 75% compared to YouTube. So definitely do that before YouTube takes your money. But anyways, this battle will be quick. I'm going to go over both of their scalings and who they scale off of, and we're going to determine who wins. This is just a fun Friday battle, so I hope you enjoy this. And without further ado, let's begin. Starting off first, we have Kratos. For this video, I will be observing the most recent version of Kratos. This includes the novelization and God of War Lore and Legends, a work written from the view of Atreus before and after the events of the story. However, I will reference a couple of prior events and pieces of scaling from previous games if I feel it gives a better understanding of his scaling. This includes a statement from Cory Barlog himself. Cory stated that the higher beings in the verse, like the gods, are above the mortal concepts of time and space. This would at least put them at baseline 5D at their peak, unless you don't think being above time space is such. Then you can lowball to 4D, but I don't agree with that. I think it's meant to be baseline 5D at least, but we won't stop there in terms of looking for evidence to give baselines to the power. We'll continue building off of that. When you look at the north side of things, which is mostly what God of War 4 deals with, a couple items need to be noted before we proceed directly to Kratos himself. This is solely to create a foundation for our scaling, a jump off point to better understand the true power of this older, wiser Kratos. So, first let's look at the world tree. This concept is so massive, it holds all 9 realms and the non-realms on its branches. These are 4D constructs as they have different temporalities. As it is, the world tree is easily 5D, and in the game it confirms its branches transcend time and space, which is the mortal sense of the concept. 5D world tree is crucial for AP scaling later. Next, we have Ymir. Ymir is a being that predates all realms. A primordial giant, his being is what made the realms, and his blood flooded all of creation itself. Odin killed Ymir, as the gods do scale that high in a way. The realms also have different temporalities. This is made obvious when they visit the land of the giants and time is different there. This is also confirmed in lore and legends. Thus, to threaten the realms, you would have to be capable of destroying different time spaces. Next item to observe is Thor versus the World Serpent. This prophesized event is one which signals Ragnarok. In one of their clashes, Thor cracked the world tree and sent the serpent flying back in time. The fight was also felt in every realm. Thor being able to crack a 5D construct is 5D AP. The Thor scaling is relevant because Kratos blatantly is either relative or possibly superior. This is shown several times, but one that comes to mind is Mimir. Mimir said Rage Kratos was the fiercest warrior he's ever witnessed. We know for sure Mimir has seen Thor in combat, so obviously they should be relative. Atreus also asked later if Mimir thought Kratos could beat Thor, and Mimir said he didn't know who would win, meaning it's a toss-up. Regardless, 5D Kratos, God, I can't speak today. Kratos AP is fine when he's bloodlusted. Strength-wise, not just AP-wise, he also scales to Thor. Lore stated multiple times that in raw strength, Thor's sons rivaled their father. Kratos kinda mauled them to the point the surviving brother fled in terror. This was the strength of base Kratos as well. In the novel, he was level-headed, not going into his insane Spartan rage when confronting the brothers. Kratos also, in his rage state, was able to subdue and defeat a serious and trying Baldur. A joking Baldur in the novel KO'd the serpent himself. This is impressive because Thor stalemated even with Mjolnir, whereas Baldur used his fists and got a KO. Rage Kratos is his superior in strength. Kratos possesses a couple of weapons that are of an insane magnitude of power. The Leviathan axe was made to rival Mjolnir. The Blades of Chaos were stated to be more impressive than the two other weapons. Kratos has some of the most potent firepower in the verse, as Mjolnir's strikes crack the world tree, and Kratos has blades arguably above that. Kratos also, at the end of the novel, was confirmed to possess both the blades and the axe still, and the axe alone was Mjolnir's equal. This makes Kratos scarier in AP potentially than even Thor himself. Now that we have Kratos AP out the way, and at a level that I feel like we can all agree he at least reaches when raging, I want to go over the possible speed metas for Kratos. If you're a low baller, I will throw you a bone with FTL. Ancients, which are fodder in speed to Kratos and even his son, are stated in the monster guidebook to operate using beams of light as attacks. This means they casually scale above light speed attacks. Kratos has thrown blows which shockwaves spread through and shook all of Midgard. He also has fought beings like Baldur, who scale off characters that predate time. Couple this with the fact its confirmed deities are above time and space, and you can see why they should at least have inaccessible speed. That, and they can move and fight in realms void of time. For durability, we won't waste time on it. Kratos should scale to and possibly even above his own AP in terms of durability. Kratos also is able to ignore injuries if he sustains them, and he showed this in his final battle with Baldur. And he took an axe to the shoulder in the novel as well. This was regenerated and didn't slow Kratos at all. When he was pissed and Baldur's mystic shield was compromised, it was literally just a matter of time until he beat him. Baldur couldn't really do anything to harm Kratos, at least not enough to slow him. Kratos also stated the old him would have blitzed and just broken every bone in Baldur's body before casually killing him. It is obvious that if Kratos truly did wish to, he likely could have slaughtered Baldur even worse, at least according to the novel. I would also argue Kratos beat the most skilled of those who serve Odin, next to maybe Thor, though this is left to be seen. Baldur was stated to be the best that Odin could send to hunt down his foes. Baldur's the skill and cunning, whereas Thor's sons were his accompanying muscle. Baldur wasn't as skilled as Kratos in my opinion, and Kratos was able to outskill him several times, as base Kratos was not as strong as base Baldur. While Baldur may have been seen as goofy, and maybe the game didn't give you the impression of the type of warriors they are, he's no joke. Odin and his people have been going to war and beefing with beings since literally the start of time. Eons of war and violence is naturally going to produce skilled warriors, and Baldur was able to grapple Kratos well, supporting the high skill argument. Kratos was rusty at first, but I believe by the end of the story he was pretty close to back to his sharp skill set. Kratos can also willingly subject himself to either rage, or even better, the ability to operate off pure battle instinct. This showed in his first scrap with Baldur. When Baldur landed on the roof, in the novel, Kratos stated he was shutting off his mind. He would fight off pure warrior instinct and skill. This ability to shut off distractions and purely focus on the fight made Kratos absolutely lethal, as he immediately pressed Baldur. Now, he also has resistances, but that doesn't really matter in this fight because this is more of a brawl. But his weapons, like the Leviathan axe, have an ice mystic hacks and is equally as potent as Mjolnir. It can also one-shot gods like the sons of Thor. It also returns to Kratos if he summons it back to his hand. The Blades of Chaos he had towards the end of the game are arguably more potent, offer more range, and have fire mystic properties opposite to the Leviathan axe. He also has a shield he can bash with. It's not as used and as talked about, but it's called the Guardian Shield. And he also has the Head of Mimir, which is wise and smart and could potentially give him advice. Moving on to the less detailed but just as cool character, Battle Beast from the Invincible series. I will be using the comics, by the way. I said it in the beginning, but just a reminder. Now, Battle Beast is a perpetual shit starter. He comes from an alien race, and even off rip, it was stated he is honestly one of the strongest supervillains in the game, period, in their verse. He is able to effortlessly, in the beginning, thrash Invincible. He was the first villain to do so. And he took out the Guardians as well and just left because it was pointless to further prove like how much above them he was. But yeah, he immediately showed up and started thrashing people. Now, if you don't know how strong Invincible is, just did a video on him, even up to the what was that guy's name? Conquest. I believe it's Conquest. The pre-Conquest arc. Go check that out. He was strong even up to that point, and it's nothing to Battle Beast. Battle Beast was described by Cecil, who's president of the Guardians, as a real heavyweight in the supervillain game. This is very impressive because that means he can brawl with the top tier heroes. He also shows he casually brawls with a Viltrumite for fun. These beings are capable genetically of wiping out planets, leading planetary genocides, and planets and stars dead in their wake. The strongest of his race, it is also stated that Battle Beast himself is immortal. Of course, we find out later on in a pretty savage way this isn't technically true, but he is pretty tough, and it's no surprise why he gets the hype and why he gets that title, because Battle Beast truly brought it to everybody that he ran into. We do see later on that not only did he scale above individual Viltrumites in combat, he was able to swim through, like basically swim through in space and slaughter Viltrumites effortlessly. So not only was he boloing one, he was boloing them in numbers. Together with Thrag, he was also able to defeat a swarm of the Rognar. The Rognar are another heavy hitter race that are a threat to even the Viltrumites, and they are stated to be stronger than the Viltrumites, and at one point Omni-Man says that they wouldn't have lasted so longer in different circumstances, basically implying these aliens are above them. And yeah, Battle Beast brought it to him anyway. It didn't really matter. He's an absolute savage. And then you have his final battle, right? After defeating the swarm of these aliens with Thrag, he squares up with Thrag. He says, "Look, dog, you're a worthy foe. It's time me and you throw down. Blood, let's see who bleeds more, son. Let's get goon with it." Swings on Thrag. They start brawling, right? This is a fight to the death because Thrag is a heavy hitter. Thrag bullied Omni-Man and Invincible at the same time, okay? He's no joke, right? So Battle Beast is like, he literally had said earlier, this is the worthy foe. I need to prove I'm the GOAT. So this is his GOAT matchup, right? This battle with Thrag is everything to Battle Beast as a warrior. He continues to brawl with Thrag, this OD warrior I talked about later. This guy is such a beast, Thrag, that Thrag literally got his head bitten by a dinosaur that mauled a being who absorbed a universe, right? An entire dimension. Absorbed and bopped it. That dinosaur bopped that being that destroyed the universe. Dinosaur tries to bite Thrag, breaks all its damn teeth, gets boloed, okay? So this guy's no joke. They brawl for days. Finally, Battle Beast falls in defeat. And yes, he was turned into a Gucci mink coat by Thrag, but Thrag's no joke, like I said, with the scaling. So at the end of the day, Battle Beast is one of the strongest in his verse, one of the most feared in the universe, and a problem for anyone who's willing to brawl with him in a straight-up matchup. So, if these two beasts were to clash in a battle, who do I think would win, Kratos or Battle Beast? First of all, this would be hilarious to watch because it'd be a straight-up brawl. But I honestly see this fight going similar to how his one-on-one with the son of Thor went. Basically just a matter of time before Kratos gets the opening and folds him. Kratos is stronger, and the skill gap isn't crazy, but Kratos probably is more skilled, and overall I just see him being too much, especially with the better weaponry. Yes, Battle Beast has an axe and stuff and his own teeth and claws and strength, but Kratos has better weapons, and I just think he's a better warrior. And at the end of the day, Battle Beast once again will be meeting his match and getting turned into a Gucci mink coat. Kratos from God of War wins. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think. If you like these matchups, want to see more Invincible or God of War characters, let me know. Anyways, it's been your boy YFV, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.